Yields and a stronger dollar made investors cautious ahead of U.S. inflation statistics and the start of Donald Trump's second term as U.S. president. European and U.S. futures indicated a minor rise today as Nasdaq 100 futures rose 0.5% in the Asian session after the index dropped in New York on Monday. S&P 500 futures were 0.3% firmer. European futures were up 0.8%. FTSE futures steadied in Asia. Japan's Nikkei slumped 1.8%. Touched a 6-week low as investors shared chip stocks. The Shanghai Composite was up 2.5%, being its best day since November 7th, while Hong Kong tech shares rose more than 3%. And more news, China's social media platform TikTok has described reports of allowing sales of the company's U.S. operations to a businessman, Elon Musk, as a pure fiction. The firm's comment comes in response to a Bloomberg report that Chinese officials are weighing on options that could see its business in America being sold to the world's richest person if the U.S. Supreme Court upholds a ban on the app. The U.S. Supreme Court's justices are due to rule on the law that set a 19th January deadline for TikTok to either sell its U.S. operations or face a ban in the country. TikTok has repeatedly said it will not sell its U.S. operations irrespective of the outcome of the Supreme Court ruling. Meanwhile, TikTok users in the U.S. are migrating to a Chinese app called Redknot, with the threat of a ban just days away. Well, despite failing to deliver his promise for broad student loan forgiveness, President Joe Biden has now overseen the cancellation of student loans for more than 5 million Americans, more than any other president in U.S. history. White House Press Secretary Ms. Karine Jean-Pierre says the 150,000 new beneficiaries includes more than 80,000 borrowers who were cheated or defrauded by their schools, over 60,000 borrowers with total and permanent disabilities, and more than 6,000 public service workers. The Biden administration has focused on revising and expanding federal student loan forgiveness programs.
Is approving student loan relief for more than 150,000 borrowers, bringing the total number of Americans who have had their student debt approved to be canceled by the administration to over 5 million people. These 150 borrowers include almost 85,000 borrowers who attended schools that cheated and defrauded their students, 61,000 borrowers with total and permanent disabilities, and 6,100 public servant workers. This announcement builds on the historic actions our administration has taken to reduce the burden of student debt, hold bad actors accountable, and fight on behalf of students across the country. Today's milestone isn't just a number, it's life-changing debt relief for 5 million people and their families who now have more breathing room to buy homes, start small businesses, save for retirement, and much more.
Australian flag carrier Qantas has had to delay several flights on the Sydney-Johannesburg route over the past few weeks on the United States government's advice regarding the re-entry of SpaceX rockets over the part of southern Indian Ocean. According to the airline, the delays of up to 6 hours were caused due to last-minute changes in coordinates for the location and timing for re-entry of rockets from Elon Musk's space technology firm. Head of Qantas's Operations Center, Mr. Ben Holland, said the airline is making any changes to its schedule in advance. SpaceX did not immediately respond to a request for comments. Well, crude oil prices eased today but remain near 4-month high as the impact of the United States sanctions on Russia's oil Spain's market focused ahead of a U.S. inflation data later this week. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude fell to sell for $78.70 with a downward review of 0.15%. Brent experienced a decline of 0.30% to sell for $80.77 per barrel. Bonnie Light sells for $78.62 with a downward margin of 2.84%. For the OPEC basket, crude oil dealers offer $77.94 per barrel with an uptick of 1.31%. Well, indeed, that's our show today. Thank you so much for being a part of it. I'll see you tomorrow, same time. We'll talk more business and get more cash. I'll see ya. Take care.